Bienvenidos a todos a Tiempo Fuera. Hoy estamos con un invitado especial, Amar Alibegovic. Well, first of all, how are you, Amar?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, you are currently playing in the ABA League with Cedevita Olympia. I don't know if I pronounce it right. I'm sorry.
Right.
You're playing in the ABA League and in the Euro Cup. Obviously, right now you're 2-0 in the league, and tomorrow you play your first game in the Cup. What do you expect this season to go? I know you played in Petrus Bologna a couple of seasons ago. That's a very established team in the European world of basketball. How do you think this year will go with Cedevita?
I think we have a lot of potential. We have a great team with a lot of talent and a lot of athleticism, a lot of unselfish and smart players. We just have to do a good job of bringing all that together, and I think the main part for us is going to be how we stick together through the negatives, like I always say, like a lot of also coaches say, when everything is good, everyone passes the ball, everyone likes each other, this and that. But even maybe if we have one or two bad games, we have to be able to stick together on, whenever we get in the court, both on defense, on offense, and help each other. And I think that's the main part that's going to win us some games this year.
Perfect. And going back to your beginning of your career, who or what introduced you to the world of basketball?
I mean, my dad was, an amazing player. He was just now, he was the top scorer of Slovenian history for the national team. And just now, Goran Dragic went over him, and Goran is now number one, and my dad is number two now. But anyway, he was a great player. He played in a lot of great European clubs. He won the Korac Cup with Berlin. He was an amazing player. And I have two brothers, and all three of us play because of my dad. And so, ever since we were little, we maybe weren't as interested as we are now, but we always knew that it was going to be part of our lives, and we grew to love it, all three of us, and here we are.
Another question that we wanted to ask is, we know you play for the Bosnian international team, national team, not international, my bad. What was your feeling when you first got called, hey, you want to play for the national team? I imagine we talked to other national team players, and their reaction, it's always so impressive, oh my God, I made the national team. That's the case with you?
Yeah. I got called first time when I was 16 to play the I think it was under 18 European Championship, and we played really well. We our first year we went from there's A and B. We were in B, and we won the B division to go back in A. So, Nurkic was on that team too. A lot of names now that play also in Euro Cup and in this ABA League. It was an honor to get called for my national team. Now, sadly, I'm having issues because they had problems finishing my passport, and I count as naturalized. I have a star now, so you know how it works. You can only have one foreign player, but even though both my parents are from Bosnia, I'm counting foreign guy, and this was very unlucky, and now we're trying to work it out with FIBA, but I don't even know anymore if we'll be able to. But every time I get the call up from the team, I always want to go and always want to try my best to help my team and help the nation's team play, and it's a great honor, and it's so fun.
Perfect. And do you idolize any players or take some moves from them? For example, your dad. I don't know if you idolize him, but
Yeah,
it could be an option.
I mean, my dad played my same position, or I played the same position as my dad, and so like he's able to help me in a lot of things. He was lefty though, so he tries to like opposite everything, but he tries to teach me so many tricks, and like I try to learn from him the best I can, and when I was maybe younger, I was my favorite player was Carmelo Anthony when I was younger. But like growing up, I would start like maybe watching like people that were more similar to my like game style, and there it's like film on everyone and anyone that is doing something good, and I try to like steal something that I feel like can work for me from anyone I watch.
And going into your division, your NCAA experience, I know you played in St. John's. How did it feel like to play in what it is one of the best scenarios for young players around the world?
That was amazing. Like I got called up. Steve Lavin called me up because I played. That's when I played for the national team under 18. He saw me play there, and he called me to New York for official visit, and it was amazing straight away. Like they showed me the city, they showed me Madison Square Garden, the campus, and I was in love right away. And like I said, where do I sign? So like that was just like I couldn't even believe that I was in the mecca of basketball, how they call it. And so I was so happy to be a part of the program. Like sadly then like coach had to leave, and then Chris Smalling, the coach Chris Smalling came in, and things started going up and down for me. But I think it was a great learning experience for me, and I got to see a different part of the world, learn a whole different culture, and a mindset toward basketball, and I think it somewhat has helped me, like when I came back and I started playing, and I have no regrets, and I think it was a great experience.
Perfect. And do you have any pregame like routines before? Yeah, pregame basically.
Pre-game, I always do the same thing. I mean, I go through the same, let's say, like activation process, and then I have like this, let's say, this warm-up shooting that I do is always the same. I take the same number from each spot, or in some things I take the exact same number of dribbles. Like it's but I get through every time, and like if I would stay here and explain it, it would be a little complicated. It's not that long, I would say, but it's some specific things, and mostly the things that I'm going to try and use in the game after.
Perfect.
You think that it's a little bit OCD? Because same kind of
Yeah.
feels, same.
Every player has their, like, let's say, pregame, or like even rituals, like even when you shoot free throws or this and that, or I've seen players like tie their shoes in the same exact way, or I've seen players take off and put them right in the spot they want it to be. Like, I don't think I'm that OCD, because maybe I have like two things that I do that are like you could call like a little OCD, but like I take 7 dribbles from one side and 7 from the other when I start shooting twos or start shooting threes, and that's it. I mean, but I've seen like some players, like, or someone has to have has to untie their shoes before they go on the court. It's like it's so many things that I think that's where it starts getting too much. But who am I to judge? What other people do.
Great. And going into one of the last questions, talking about your number selection, I know currently you're wearing number 7, and in Vitrus Bologna and Roma, you also were number 7. But before that number, you were number 3 and 10 in the national team and St. John's. What is the original number, and what's the reason why you wore all of them?
So number 7 is my number, the number I've always had. Then when you get to college, in college you can't wear 6, 7, 8, 9. and then 16, 17, 18, 19, and so on and so on, because the refs have to do signals with one hand, so all these numbers are banned, and yeah, so that's why I chose first 3, then 1, then 10, and then 14. I think those were my 4 numbers. But if I couldn't play with 7, I play with 3, which would be because of my 3 brothers, and so I like wearing 3. And number 7 will be because my dad played with number 7, and it's also became my favorite number, and I will always try and wear 7, and if I can, I'll wear 3.
Perfect. Now we move on to the question that Martina Facina left for you. And the question is, if you have to give a suggestion to the current young basketball generation, what will it be?
Say that again, to the current?
If you have to give a suggestion or a tip to the current young basketball generation, or the youngsters amongst basketball, what tip would you give?
I would say to even though it might be boring, fundamentals are I think the most important part of the game, and maybe when you go through the same thing over and over and over again, sometimes you say this is boring, or I don't need this, or this and that, you want to do the fancy stuff. But I think that part of the game is very often underrated, and it brings so much to the table. But without that, you can't build and go forward, I think, personally.
Perfect. And do you have a question you want to leave for our next guest? We can give you time in this one. We can cut this part out here.
Okay, maybe I'll text it to you. I'll think about it. I'll text it to you.
Perfect. When you have it, you don't feel pressure. Perfect. That was basically the second section. We move on to the last and final, third and final, sorry, and a little bit, I don't know how to say it, a little bit down on my English today. I don't know what's happening. It's a flash question section. As I told you before, it's fast, so you gotta be prepared. And also, it has nothing to do with basketball, except one question that you'll see. So be prepared. Okay, you tell us when to go.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, favorite movie?
Inception.
Favorite TV show?
Ooh, maybe Dexter.
Not including basketball, what sport do you watch or play the most?
I watch F1. Is that a sport?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. F1 fans are going crazy now.
Yeah.
Teammate you spend the most time with?
Marko Radovanovic.
Favorite food?
Pasta.
Best video game ever?
League of Legends.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
One dream left to accomplish, not basketball related?
Ooh, get a master's degree.
Favorite artist?
Next. That's so difficult.
You can give us your top 3, or you don't have to give us one.
It's hard. I listen to 3 different languages, so many artists. It's it's so I really don't know.
Well, we can skip that one. And what's your favorite basketball shoe?
KD's. Oh, actually, Kobe's.
Any specific number?
Yeah. I wear the Kobe 6s.
Okay. Good shoes. Both KD's and Kobe's.
Yeah.
Well, Amar, that was basically it. Thanks a lot for coming in here and giving the opportunity to us to interview you. It's an honor, and obviously, good luck tomorrow with your game. We'll be rooting for your team, obviously.
Appreciate you guys.
And well, that's it. Thanks a lot.
No problem. No problem. Thank you guys for having me, and whenever.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mar.
Bye.